Welcome. So today we're looking at algebra. Specifically, we want to understand a little bit more in depth about what a variable is. So when we're talking about variable, a variable is sometimes called a pronumeral. Okay, and basically all that means is it's an unknown value. So it's something that we don't know yet. Now normally this is represented by letters. So even though we're dealing with maths and numbers, if we don't know something, so it's unknown, we're going to use letters to represent that value. Okay, so let's get started with some examples of understanding why we're looking at particular variables in the first place. Okay, so let's say we had an ant nest. Okay, and to represent the amount or the number of ants in this nest, so number of ants in the nest, let's say we call that B, because we don't know how many ants are in there, so we're going to say that at this stage the nest is B. Okay, so look at number 1. Let's say, for example, we know that there are a certain number of ants in the nest, but 25 of them died. How would we put that in a mathematical expression? So how we would do this would be B, because that's our nest, take 25. Okay, so that's how we would represent that as a mathematical expression. Let's say number 2, we wanted to express that the population of the ants doubled. So say population doubled. How would we express that as a mathematical equation or expression? Again, B is our nest, but because we want to double it, it's actually times by 2. So we could go B times 2, or better still, 2B. They mean the same thing. Okay, let's use another example. Let's say we had an increase by 50. So whatever the population is, we increased it by 50. Again, the nest plus, because we're increasing here, 50. So you might have some kind of word problem, and it's talking to you in words and telling you what is happening with this particular ant's nest. That's how we would turn our words into particular expressions, mathematical expressions. Okay, so now we're going to look at some a word problem to do with algebra. So up the top here you can see it says AFL football. It was an AFL football match. Attendance of the match is represented by an X. So I'm going to underline that because we need to know that. Okay, so number 1, it says, write an expression for a further amount of people to arrive represented by Y at quarter time. So we know that we have X amount of people at the attendance of the match, and then we have more people arriving, which is represented by a Y. Now, because it's more, so it's a furthermore, we know that it should be a plus Y. Okay, so that is the answer to question number 1. Number 2, it says write an expression for a further 260 people arriving before half time. So there we go, X plus Y plus 260 people. All right, so that's number 2. Now number 3 is at half time, 170 people leave. It wants us to write an expression of the number of people now at the game, and that shouldn't have a little I there. So we have X plus Y plus 260 take 170. Now remember, if we wanted to simplify this at this stage, it would then be X plus Y plus 90, because if we have 260 take 170, we would get 90. All right, and question number 4. At the final quarter, 350 people leave. Write an expression to represent this. So, this case it would be x plus y. I'll do it both ways. So it'll be plus 260 take 170, or, sorry, 1 second. Forgot part of it. Okay, take 350. Or we could write it as x plus y. Now, if we are going to calculate all of this, we would end up with a negative number. So it would be take 260. So now you can see how we've converted all of these word problems, all right, problems or questions, and we've converted them all into mathematical expressions. Okay, so let's go and have a look now at another example, and we'll make it a little bit shorter this time. Okay, so let's say we have y, and that represents, y represents, say, the number of cakes. Okay, so number 1, let's say we have, write an expression that doubles the number of cakes. Okay, well, I'd like you to write that answer. Then we want to write another expression that, or I should say, where 5 cakes are eaten. Okay, and then 3, write an expression where 25 cakes are made and added to the original amount. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is have a go at these, and you should have 3 expressions that indicate what's happening with these cakes.